Diversity Saves is a 501c3 nonprofit organization made up of passionate creators, actors, and fans of tabletop role-playing games from marginalized communities who wanted to create a means to amplify voices not only in the community, but in the works we consume across the industry. With the funding from donors, we seek to aid the community with grants for marginalized creators, provide TTRPG supplies and materials to educational and recreational centers to promote education and creative exploration, and uplift voices by providing a platform for underrepresented creators. You can learn more at diversitysaves.org. Donations on our website are tax-deductible within the U.S. and directly benefit our grant-giving program, which, to date, has given $7,000 back to the community to bring projects to life. Type !donate in chat for the link to donate towards today's fundraiser.
Hello everyone. Welcome to our live stream here on Diversity Saves, where we will be playing some Daggerheart today with a bunch of wonderful folks joining me at this table. Before we get into things, I'll do a quick round of introductions. My name is Andrew. I will be the game master for this one shot. I am of Korean descent. I have medium length, dark, black hair, wearing white earphones, I suppose, wearing a black hoodie with the Ojibwe words for no more on it. I'm just going to go around the screen and I'll ask each of you to bounce it to the next person. I'm going to start with Sid.
Yeah, hi, my name is Sid. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a person of Caucasian descent. I have medium length brown hair, some navy blue headphones on today, and sort of a dark printed sweatshirt on like a blurry orange background. And then, I can pick anyone, Andrew?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kayla, it's coming to you.
Hi, hello, I am Kayla. I am a white woman with see-through blue glasses, short blondish hair off to one side. I'm in a robin egg blue shirt that says embrace change from Beautiful Bastards. They're fantastic. It's so soft. My background is blurred out because nobody wants to see that messy office. And I have on a key necklace, and I will popcorn it over to Colin.
Hello, I am Colin or Critter. I am also a person of Caucasian descent. My hair is long right now. You can see it. I know, it's crazy. Wearing black headphones, got some facial hair that would be really exciting for those of you that can see it. And my computer thinks my background can't be blurred. So you can see a little bit of my office and sound paneling and a little piece of cloth covering foam covered with salamanders. I think that's everything. Yeah, I'm really stoked to be here, and I'm going to pop it over to Jonathan.
Hey, this is Jonathan, also known as Roadblock. I use he, him pronouns. I am of Hispanic descent, and I have sadly gray and black facial hair, black rim glasses,
Very
a gray hat, and a gray shirt with a yellow circle that has an animated beaver on it. And my background is of a mountain view, which will be very relevant to the character I'm playing today. And I'm going to bounce it to John.
John, you are muted.
I am John, and I'm unmuted now. He, him. I'm a black man with a goatee, close cut hair that probably needs to be cut soon. I'm wearing a black sleeveless t-shirt with, I guess, necklace that my wife bought for me. My background is blurred, and I have glasses because I can't see. I have a little bit of gray in here. I'm less distinguished than Jonathan, though.
I would.
And I will popcorn it over to Ann.
Hi, my name is Anne. My pronouns are she, her. I am a woman of Filipino descent, nicely tan, wearing gray headphones and red framed glasses. I am also blind, and I am wearing a mustard yellow t-shirt with a green collar. You can't see it, but it actually says Australia. But I am not physically in Australia, so it might get confusing for people. I have a staircase blurred in my background because I am in my kitchen table where I do all of the gaming.
Very, very cool. Thank you. Wonderful, beautiful cast. Before we get into the game today, just want to remind the viewers that we are accepting donations, and incentives for those donations are actually, we're just $16. Is that correct? $16 away to our next goal, or do I have my math wrong? Okay.
Yeah.
$66, sorry, to our next goal. And let me find this again. Our in-game donation incentives are, for $1, you can give +1 to one of our wonderful players to help them out in a particular action roll. For $5, you can give them a point of hope if they seem to be lacking any of that. Or you can give me a point of fear to make things a little bit more challenging for them. For $10, you can give one of the players advantage on the roll. That means they get to roll a d6 in addition to their 2d12 to hopefully get some success. For $20, you can give a player an automatic crit, which is pretty cool. And for $50, you can give 2 players an automatic tag team crit. That's where 2 players combine forces, do something really cool, and they both critically succeed. And that's for $50. All right. So with that out of the way, shall we get started? Yeah. All right. Here we go. Snow. It falls gently into the mountain valley, settling over Mujin like a held breath. It clings to the curved tiles of the rooftop, softening their edges, muting the town beneath, a pale, patient hush. It is the longest night of the year, the winter solstice, and the festival of the long night. Red lanterns sway along the streets and river paths that glow warm and familiar, a tradition passed down through generations. Between them hang newer lights, harsh, bright, and sharp, casting white and blue light across the snow. Fireworks crack overhead, blooming briefly against the dark before fading, their echoes rolling down from the surrounding peaks, along with the cheers and gasps of those who watch them. A drum beats somewhere near the heart of town, slow and steady and unhurried. Each strike settles into the ground, a rhythm meant not for dancing, but for remembering and waking. The air is rich with scent. Dumplings hiss and steam at wooden stalls. Bowls of red bean soup are passed from hand to hand, warmth seeping into cold fingers. Roasted chestnuts split with soft pops, their sweetness carrying through the crowd. At the center of Mujin, beneath the wide boughs of an ancient ginkgo tree, children dart and laugh, chasing one another through the snow. Their voices ring bright beneath the branches that have watched 100 winters come and go. Lantern light glows, snow drifts, and the drum continues its patient call. For tonight, the town celebrates, not to banish the cold, but to remind the community gently and together that spring will one day return. In these festivities, we find I'll let you describe. Anne, can you please describe your character and how you're participating or taking in the festivities of this town?
So Isla is I want to say tall for a halfling, but she's pocket sized, let's be real. She is roughly about 3 feet tall. She's got this like bright unruly purple hair that's a little bit all over the place. But she tries to kind of tame it into like a very high ponytail. She I have a question about the setting actually before I continue.
Sure.
I imagine that story singers have specific role to play in a festival sort of celebration, right? What would you say a story singer does as part of their role in a festival in this village, actually?
The role of story singer in the setting would be one that recounts stories from generations past to honor your ancestors and their achievements, and to bring community together. It's all about community and honoring your ancestors.
Does she have something she specifically would do in a festival setting specifically, or is it just...
That's totally up to you, how you would like to do your own thing.
Okay, I just wanted to know if there was like a cultural significance to her being there and like expectations. But she would probably be wearing a sort of ceremonial traditional dress that she her family wears to events like the festival, you know, very traditional garb. I want to say it's like very not muted, but like subdued pastel colors. They wear colors, but it's not like bright. It's more of just like softer pastel colors. And she's the kind of person that doesn't like formalities, but she's being told like you have to wear this, and she feels like almost constricted in the formalities of it all. But she is she's got these bright green eyes, and she's at the center of like the village, I guess what would be considered like the town square, but just a public gathering. And she has a set of drums, and she's regaling the crowds with a story about the founding of the village and how the founding families came together to create this new community, and how her family pledged to pass the stories along to make sure that the history is not forgotten. So, you know, she's proud, but she also, it's a duty. It's very serious stuff. So it's not, she would rather be, you know, just running around and enjoying the festivities, but this is a part of the culture, you know, and an important part for her to speak at public events. So she is, like she has done in previous years, recounting this important historical story.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Before we move on, I do want to acknowledge that we already have an anonymous $50 donation. Thank you so much. And that is going to be a tag team crit, I think, to Anne. And whenever you want to do a tag team action with somebody else, it'll be an automatic critical success. So thank you so much. There's someone standing beside you, a family member. Who might that be?
So beside Isla is a much taller person. He's human. And she is Isla's mom. She has the same kind of bright hair, but more formal and well put together. And she is wearing her ceremonial garb. And she is she's hanging out there. She is supporting her child in this storytelling, but she is actually in the background more so, accompanying her with like the ceremonial drums, and she's there for support, but also kind of like making sure she actually does the thing, because Isla is prone to running off and doing shenanigans. So she's keeping watch, and she has this very serious kind of severe look, but she's also very gentle countenance.
All right, beautiful. And as you finish this first set and your drums fall silent, you feel a gentle hand of your mother on your arm. And when you turn to look at her, you can see that look of seriousness on her face as she casts her glance across the crowds and to the bright lights, those garish bright lights shining next to the red lanterns. And underneath them, you can see what sounds like some sort of contraption that is emitting some sort of music that the children and local villagers are dancing to. And people are almost ignoring the drums that you're playing, and they're being drawn to this new contraption, this music across the square from you. And she looks at you and says, "Never forget who we are and the stories we tell. Or if we don't remember, if we do not tell them, it will be lost and forgotten. And all of these garish toys, these excesses, they'll mean nothing in the end."
Ayla like puffs her chest up and she echoes the sentiment. She says, "Never forget."
Ayla, who amongst the crowd, choose amongst your fellow players, would you see?
Okay. Well, I would say, sorry, give me a moment. I'm just trying to make sure I sorry, I'm so bad with pronouncing names. Okay, how do you pronounce John's character's name? Sorry.
Oh, you muted.
Ilsung.
Ilsung's probably like, very tall and very visible. I imagine, probably like somewhere off in the distance.
You heard her say that.
So, Ayla would probably see Ilsung, 12 feet tall, definitely off in the distance wherever they are. So probably like, because they're so tall, that's kind of where her gaze drifts, like.
Okay. All right.
So
Ilsung,
far away.
can you please describe your character and what you're up to?
Okay. Ilsung is at this current juncture planted in the ground. He is a wooden total him about 9.5 feet right now. He is surrounded by several others of his kind. They are Jang Sung. Unlike the others, he has a more angular, triangular visage, very dour looking. He doesn't have this broad smile with teeth that many of the others around him hold. He is grumbling about the crowds, especially all these outsiders who are coming to take advantage of the wealth that our community has built, or collected, or gathered through their effort, and handing it off to these outsiders who some of them are probably troublemakers and tricksters, and I mean, some of them might even be of worth. I mean, possibly there's a few in the community that are of an age that they might pairings might be worthwhile. So if anyone's worth their salt from his judgment, he'll note that as well. So he does, as always, keep a vigilant watch for any like evil spirits or any people who are really causing trouble. He has had to be talked to a few times because and from his perspective, he should turn away some of these people who are probably not, they're here to cause trouble and clearly drinking too much. But I've been told that this is a celebration and he needs to be more lenient in how he views these outsiders who are visiting the town, which makes him look even more stern and dour, because every time he sees someone, he has to like almost clench his jaw closed to keep himself from saying something to anyone.
Very cool. And who amongst the other players do you have your eye on in particular?
Well, I think of the outsiders he's had to keep his eyes on, the one that bothers him least is Frederick. I think, is that saying it now? Right? Mm-hmm. Frederick. He looks like at least he won't be unconscious in a ditch having drunk too much, at the very least, because of course, not because he has much hope in him, but because dwarves tend to have to drink a lot more.
All right. And what is Frederick up to? What does he look like?
Well, standing off and listening to actually Isla's story is a dwarf. He is a little bit on the tall side for a dwarf. He is 4'10". He's wearing very sturdy looking armor, and somehow attached to his back, it's very much like Master Chief in Halo. He just puts a rifle on his back and it just stays there. He has a warhammer attached to his back that just stays there somehow. Don't worry about it. His armor looks very new. Frederick himself does not. He has his helmet and gauntlets kind of hanging off his belt right now as he's kind of taking in the winter air and letting it hit his scalp. He has dark brown skin. He is bald, but with long hair in a ceremonial dwarven ponytail coming down, and his beard is just white. There's no color remaining in it, and you see that he is an extremely old dwarf. It's very sturdy, but just very old looking, and it kind of belies the clear newness and unused nature of his armor. Mostly there are a few scratches on it, but it looks almost brand new. And currently he, with his bare hands, is handling a bowl of dumplings, and he has given up using chopsticks and is now stabbing dumplings just with the 2 chopsticks and putting up to his mouth and trying to keep his beard clean. And he's hyper aware of what he thinks all the eyes are on him, even though right now probably 1 pair of giant eyes are on him. But he's very self-conscious about this. And he was, I could probably ask for a fork, but is that rude? I don't know. I'm just the stabbing's good. And he kind of mutters to himself as he's making headway on these delicious dumplings in the winter weather. And as Isla's story gets done, he's like, and he kind of like tucks the bowl into his arm and he starts clapping. I think I'm supposed to clap now. Very good.
All right.
Excellent.
And of the remaining characters, which one catches your eye?
Well, he came to the town alone, and he's been kind of he's been here a day. He stayed at the rustic establishment of the Cot and Soup. You get a cot and you get soup, and that's it. And so he well within my price range, and he sees someone as he's finishing off his dumplings that he recognizes. He sees Vexit, who had visited the mountain some time ago and did some training with the dwarves of the Bastion.
Awesome. And Vexit, can you please describe yourself and what you're up to here?
So Vexit is a 6'2" Dracona, but where most of Draconas are a little bit beefier, they come from a discipline where they're kind of thin and muscular. They're made more for agility and precision than brute strength, and their scales are this iridescent purple color, except for small places where you kind of see that the scales diminish in size and change into opal black smaller scales that seem to almost form a pattern on their shoulder that then go towards the back and disappear under this cloak that they have on. They have the very long horns that come immediately back over their head, and those and their claws are also that opal black color, and they have a long tail going down that they're swishing in the snow to try and like make a path for other people, as they've earlier participated in many a libation, and now have 2 bags of chestnuts and are going around the outside of the village to like the smaller spirit altars and nature altars and like dropping a couple of warm chestnuts there, and then continuing on and swiping the tail, being like, if it's easier for people to get here, maybe we'll actually get here, before they kind of just like find a spot and plop in the snow and just eat the rest of the chestnuts that are left.
All right. So while you're feasting on these chestnuts, who do you see?
I think I probably see Enoki, and I might just throw a chestnut at the hey, hey.
All right. Enoki, can you please describe your character?
Yeah. So Enoki is kind of what you get if you crossed like Cousin It from the Addams Family with a shambling mound. It is a 3-foot tall fungrel, so it is a mushroom person, and it's kind of just a little ambulatory mound of mycelium and mushroom threads and like strange vegetable matter, essentially. Pretty much all sort of earth tones and like little dead leaves. And then there's just like an occasional like bright blue mushroom, like little red stink horn sticking out of its shoulders or back. Because this is a festival day, it did in fact remember that most humans like when they wear some sort of clothes. So it has this little sort of like raggedy robe / blanket in like basically the same color. It's kind of hard to tell that it's actually wearing it. And it's walking around with a staff that is about 3 feet taller than it is, that has a bunch of little charms and small pouches and things hung off of it, and one little bell and a tiny cage at where it kind of curves over the top. And it absolutely gets pelted with a chestnut and just kind of stops. It's probably been doing a similar sort of tending to some of the shrines, and honestly, if there's any sort of graves, they would do a little bit of like cleaning snow off of them, rearranging, trying to make them look a little nicer because it's very important to them. But they just stop and turn around and look at back at Vexid. Just kind of, did you need something?
I'm just gonna throw another chestnut. And like my snout, my Dracona snout is like halfway down into another bag. I just like toss another one at them.
I mean, Inoki doesn't necessarily eat in this way, but would definitely try to just whip the staff around and like either break the chestnut or send it flying back towards Vexid.
All right, let's make a first roll in for the game.
Okay.
This is what we roll for.
Yeah, great.
Right. So this, I'm going to say that this is going to be, since you're trying to bat at a flying chestnut, this will be an agility roll.
Okay, flat for me. Crit, double threes.
Hey.
All right,
Total-
so describe
total
This
of
was the right
6.
time for the crit. This
So
is
go ahead
important.
and grab yourself a hope for that critical success, and describe to me
Amazing.
what this looks like as you swat at this chestnut.
I think it's with that, it's Inoki sees that Vexid is just like back snout first into the bowl or the bag of chestnuts, turns away and just sweeps their staff behind them without even really looking, and sends it gently flying and landing right back in the bag next to that Vexid is holding. I don't eat those.
Yeah, but they're still fun.
Yes, that was fun.
Yeah. You know, we're working on the interacting. You're doing really good.
I have been told my bedside manner is improving.
It is. It's so great. All of this is still well first out. Like it was like partially muffled. Like, oh, it's doing so good.
While this interaction is happening, I am going to ask Sydney, where is Yongshil, your character?
Yongshil is staring at this musical contraption you've described, Andrew. I think Yongshil has about 5 foot even, sort of bluish skin, huge ears, matted hair, and has like a bunch of masks of all different sizes and countenances tied at their waist, among other bobs and doodads and every sort of thing. And has one mask on that has a huge mouth. The mouth on the mask is way bigger than the mouth on the inside, as they've got one arcane gauntlet off it in a mechanism that is feeding them chestnuts similarly out from a bag and sort of bouncing over and tossing one in, while their actual hands are tinkering on the other arcane gauntlet because they've been a little bit on the fritz lately, and working on that, but getting really distracted by what this thing is and how it works and what's going around there, what type of gear size is getting used and all of that sort of thing. So sort of staring at it, and then a firework goes off. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to find where those are shooting off from. I'll make the note of that. And going back to sort of there's too many lights, there's too many sounds. All of it is exciting. There's chestnuts flying in the air. and they're here for the spectacle of it all. Having their caravan had come in just a few days prior, one of these sort of biannual trips through the region, and it just so happened to fall during the longest night of the year. So why not take it all in for what it is? So I think, yeah, they're tinkering, eating a chestnut off to the side, looking at this music thing. Okay, yeah, all right. I think I can make that. Maybe. I'll think about it. And that is just cycling, like every 5 minutes, a new thing.
All right. All right. So while the 6 of you are absorbing this festivity, enjoying its food and attractions to various degrees, in the midst of all this, you see a young man dressed in very colorful blue, red, yellow robes, and you recognize him immediately as a young shaman apprentice, a paksu. And he's running wide-eyed, out of breath. He's a lanky, youngish man, maybe early 20s. And he's looking around wild-eyed. He catches the sight of your mother, Ayla, and comes rushing over to her, hands kind of outstretched, looking a little lost. And just, Elder, there's been a horrible, Solhua, the Mudang, the shaman who's supposed to perform the rites of the song of the long night. And he fishes into his robe and pulls out what looks to be a little hand drum that is split in the middle. And there's a piece of hanji paper, like a very fine paper with some calligraphy on it, hanging from it. I found this by the riverside. Something horrible is happening. Your mother looks at him, tells him, calm down now, calm down. She looks at the hand drum, looks at the piece of paper dangling from it, looks at you, Ayla. We have a problem. And then she looks around. We're going to need some help. She sees you, Il-sung, and kind of waves you over.
So Il-sung will unplant himself, kind of creak as like his arms kind of shake loose. They were kind of like held tight to him, but now he looks less like a totem pole and more like a totem pole with not quite long enough arms or legs. And so raising himself up to his full height, he then will move towards them, like more limber than you would think, something that tall and with legs that are clearly not for someone who's pushing 12 feet. Yeah. Yes. What do you want?
There seems to be a problem. The Mudang, the shaman who is supposed to complete the rite, to usher in, or to wake the spirit of spring and usher in a new season, he's gone missing. And without that rite, we will be in an eternal winter. Please, you must help find her. Take my daughter. She knows the area well. And gather whatever friends you can find amongst the crowd here. I don't want it necessarily getting too announced. I don't want to panic people, but please, there is urgency.
He like grimaces a little bit of thinking of asking the people here for help that he's supposed to be protecting. Yes, well, I will do what I need to do. The other Jingsung should be able to guard the village for a time, at least, with my absence. I will see what I can do.
Thank you.
He like sighs deeply and looks, pans across. Let's go see who we can gather.
Does Isla recognize what is written on the piece of paper that came with the broken drum?
Go ahead and make a knowledge check for me, please.
Oh no. Oh no. That is a 5 with hope.
All right. You get a hope. But with that failure, I'm sorry to say, it's hard to read.
Do I still get the hope if it's a failure?
You sure do.
Okay.
All right. But you're unable to read it. It looks like the dampness of the snow that has melted on it seems to have made the ink on the paper run a little. What's odd is that there also seems to be some odd, like, dark stains crossing over this this paper as well, kind of smudging the ink.
Okay. Isla just says, don't worry, Mama, we're going to go find some help. And she looks around at the crowd, and she's supposed to be like not trying to worry the crowd. So she's trying to just look around, but she's also like 3 feet tall, and there's people of varying heights in the crowd, and she's just like trying to look around, but you know, tall people. So she's just looking around and following Ilsung around to see who else is there.
I think first off, Ilsung will probably walk over to Yongshul and say, "Are you busy?"
Oh, I would kind of just point to the music thing and then back and no, I'm not busy at all. Is there something you want me, Yongshul, to do? Whatever it is, yes.
Yes, we need your assistance.
Eyes
Come with
wide.
me. I don't say anything else. Come with me. Then I just walk off.
The like extra hand gives the chestnut bag to just a random child, and the gauntlets go back on and follows.
And it's just like kind of just like, you should come as well, Vexed.
I think at this point Vexen just finished the chestnut bag and is like tilting the last ones into her jowls and like bundles up the bag and does a gentle toss in front of herself, and you see like a spurt of blue flame just come out of her mouth and take the bag out. Where am I going?
We have a task. I'm sorry, Ayla will inform you of it once we've gathered who we need.
I could tell you right now, but Mama says not to cause panic in the crowd, so we should probably go somewhere where it isn't crowded. And she like gestures her arms around.
Vexen will make a little bit of a snowball and toss it at Inoki and be like, "Hey, you coming?"
Can I roll again to see if I can intercept the snowball?
So actually, it's going to be Vexed who needs to make. I'm going to say
Okay.
It's going to be a finesse roll to see if they can hit you.
That is a 22.
Okay.
A 12 and a 10 with
No,
hope.
that totally doesn't hit.
Yeah, you get beamed up the side of the head by a snowball.
Inoki just really slowly turns back around, and it's sort of the owl thing where like just its head goes further than the rest of its body. What was that for?
I mean, they're calling me to do something. I'm assuming that means they're going to need you to. And Vexen just kind of like almost balls forward like an armadillo lizard, but like rolls and is on their feet. It's like, come on, let's go.
If you look at Ayla, she's just doing a pouty lip. She's ready to like do a pouty lip to convince people to help.
Inoki does walk over kind of like slightly laboriously through the snow and reaches probably honestly a little up and gently pats Ayla on the head. There. It will be probably fine.
Vexen is behind Ayla doing like, yeah, good job.
I just keeps patting for an unnecessarily long time.
she like cranes her neck up to look at Ilsung and says, "Do you think this is enough people? How many are here?" And she just does a head count mentally. She's like,
I think actually we should probably stop that gentleman from embarrassing himself with his chopsticks.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. And she follows Ilsung to, I guess, go talk to Frederick. She just lets, like, she could say something at any point, but she just lets Ilsung do the talking because he's kind of quietly amused by it.
So Frederick is on his last dumpling, and it is skewered onto, again, he's holding both chopsticks and has it through this dumpling, and he's doing this. And he looks over, he looks forward, and then he looks up.
Like,
Oh,
I think Ilsung goes down on all fours so he can be at head level. You don't seem to be busy. Help us.
His eyes shift between this giant rock being and his dumpling. Rock.
Oh, he's mad at
rock
wood.
being wood and dumpling.
Yes.
Wood and dumpling.
Also,
Sure.
that is not how you use chopsticks.
Well, I do apologize. And he kind of like puts it back, and he like puts the bowl behind his hands, and I'm somewhat new here, so I apologize. Frederick de la Parade. How can I help you, sir? Ma'am.
It's
Majesty.
Call me Ilsung.
Ilsa. Very, very good. Very good.
This
Sounds good.
This is one of the people from here. Oh, Ayla.
Ayla is like 3 feet tall, so she's like probably one of the people that are like the closest to your eye level, and she just she walks over to Frederick and says in a very quiet, like conspiratorial voice, she says, "The village is in trouble, but I'm not supposed to tell people and cause a panic. Could you please help us? I'm sorry about my friend. They're and she just is off. She sounds like completely off her game and just like rambling."
So Frederick actually has to 3 foot something.
Okay, yeah. I was like 3 foot even.
3 foot even. Okay, Frederick's almost 5 feet tall, so he kind of has to take a knee to talk to Isla, and he says, "Well, I really do appreciate you trusting me with this. I only got here last night, and there's already work needs doing. All right, well, and he looks around, and he finds like there's a tray near him that has some other dishes. He kind of puts the bowl and chopsticks down there. He kind of in one motion kind of slips on his gauntlets and puts on his helmet. It's like, all right, there's work need doing. Let's do it.
Okay, great. I guess I gotta tell everyone else that the village is in trouble. Yeah, just come with us, and we'll tell the rest of the group. And she she gestures towards like Inoki and Vexit and everyone else. It's like, I may have buried the lead on that one, but they're also gonna help. I should probably tell them the village is in trouble. And she scampers over.
And as Isla scampers away, you see Frederick kind of, and he puts both hands on one of his knees and lurches himself up. You hear creaking and groaning, and you're not sure if that's from the dwarf or from the armor. And he kind of like, so Ilsa, is it? Mighty fine pleasure to make your acquaintance. Well, I guess we chase after the little one. I guess everyone's little to you, isn't it? And he's like full on, neck craning trying to look up at you.
I will reach for the chopsticks, pick up the dumpling, and put it in my mouth without ever breaking eye contact with you while you're talking, and then put the chopsticks together and sit them down. Let's be off. And I push myself up to my full height and then walk and pursue Ayla.
So it's gone from this to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Ayla just goes back to the group and she like invites them to go over to, is it cabins? Is it tents? Like in this village they have like homes, right?
It's like hammocks
Like-
and like this just small little homes, yeah.
Yeah.
And there are some shops and stalls and whatnot, yeah.
So she invites them together near her home because it's less busy and away from like the traffic of the festival.
Before you do that, I will say
Yeah.
that that young Paksu, the young man that came to talk to your mother, you see him kind of trailing sheepishly behind the six of you, just kind of like a lost sheep, following you.
Tail
Do
tries
I
to
know
just
this?
shoo him off.
Do I know this person
Yeah.
fairly well?
He's
from-
Yeah, he's a local. He was recently initiated into the life of being a mudang, but he's apprenticing with the Sofal, the one that's missing.
Yeah, so when Ayla notices them, she says, kind of in a bright like tone, where she's kind of like faking it. She's upset, but she's trying to not let it show. She's like, "Oh, hey, are you coming too?"
He just folds his hands in front of it. Yes, if you don't mind, I would really like to find my master.
Yeah.
I think
I can
this
show-
is
I
a
can show you where
valuable
she-
learning experience for the young one. Right?
Can you punch?
No, I'm.
That
No,
is your job, isn't it?
Yeah, but I'm assuming if whatever does Isla still have the drum?
I didn't take it. I assume it's either with Isla's mom or with
Okay. I'm gonna be like,
did
if
take
if
yeah.
they need
So Isla doesn't actually have the drum.
the defender of the town and Frederick a warrior and just like clasps forearms with you and gives you a shake to just like vaguely acknowledge you. And me, I'm gonna go with probably not a like peaceful thing we're going on.
Well, we're looking for a missing person, so I don't actually know if it's going to be peaceful. And Isla just looks around at like, she looks at, sorry, what was the character's name? The
young
apprentice?
Jay.
Jay. Jay's mentor is in charge of this ritual, and she starts explaining the Mudang ritual, which, and the player has forgotten how to explain it because I'm half asleep right now. But Isla starts explaining this ritual, and then she says, "So if we don't find them, it's going to be like infinite winter forever, and that's really bad for like crops and our entire village and all of the food." And she starts explaining this, in her own way. Honestly, I don't know if we're gonna fight things, if it's gonna be peaceful or not. So far, all I know is that we're looking for someone who's missing.
Well, let us hope it is not violent. Inoki will also just like put its hand on Jay's shoulder and look them in the face or look up at them. This may entirely be on you. Go practice. Wait. Come with us. Tell us what you found. Then go practice.
I can show you where I found my master's drum. and he kind of motions to you towards the riverbank. All right. So you follow Jay down to the riverbank and away from the festivities and what. You get a few glances of people curious to know why a group of people are leaving. But other than that, there's no one really. They're too busy with their dumplings and their chestnuts to really care about you guys. So you make your way down to the river and you see Jay. I'll say Jay took the drum back and hands it to you, Inoki. Can you please make a knowledge check for me, please, with advantage?
Okay.
Could I have actually said that in the I guess the briefing period of Ayla explaining the situation that I could have done the rally as just the mechanic of it.
Sure.
She's
Yep,
rallying these people. So bards have a class feature called rally, and basically Ayla trying to convince everyone to help. Sorry. Ayla trying to convince everyone to help is her rallying them to help. And each of you have a d6 that you can add to your action roll, reaction roll, damage roll, or you can roll it and clear stress equal to the number of the result. So y'all
And you
can
can
just
hold
hang
it.
on to that
Yep.
for the
Hold on to
entire
that
game.
until you need it.
It's per long rest, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, it's per session. So wait.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, okay, I can give it to you guys per session. So yeah.
Cool. So that is a 15 with hope for me.
All right. So as you stand on the riverbank, the six of you with Jay, the Mudang apprentice, and you're holding this hand drum in your hand. There's the little cymbals or whatever kind of on the edge, like a tambourine almost, and that strip of Hanji paper trailing from it, and you can see there is writing on it. It is smudged out, but there is that almost like a powdery substance spreading out across it, and you recognize it immediately.
At what do I recognize it as?
Something from your past. A traumatic moment. The same kind of fungal. It's fungal spores.
Mm-hmm. I think Inoki just completely stops very still, and for them very still is statue-like, and then looks up. This is worse than I thought. You might need to punch things. That's not a good thing.
Jay's
a gauntleted hand raised. Howdy. Sorry, just meeting y'all for the first time. Punching things immediately, or are they around here?
Just reach out with a staff and lightly tap Frederick on the helmet. Not yet.
I'll be ready just in case. And he reaches behind him and the warhammer unclaps, and he takes the weight of it in both of his hands.
Can you make an instinct roll for me, please, Frederick?
Right.
This will be a reaction roll. We'll count the hope of fear.
Okay. Then it's a 16.
A 16. With that 16, as you unlatch your warhammer from your back, you catch something. At the corner of your vision, this river is frozen over completely, a sheet of blue ice. And it is dimly lit here. The light of the lanterns is far behind you in the town. But a firework goes off above you. And in that brief moment of light, you see a shadow move beneath the ice.
Folks, we got something moving under the river, and he kind of, or we're right next to the river, right? We haven't actually stepped onto it. He kind of takes a step back. It's like, saw something move under the water.
Inoki will take several steps back, still kind of staring at the drum in this thing, but also reach out with their staff and just like guide Jay several feet back behind them away from the river.
Ayla assumes the position behind Ilsong. You just see her disappear behind this super tall person.
I mean, my whole thing's melee, so I'm gonna go after the thing that Frederick just pointed out.
All right. So now that you're both intently looking at the ice, you can see now there's not just one kind of shadow. It's something swimming beneath the surface of the ice. You see one, then a second one, a third one. They're all just kind of swirling in some sort of pattern beneath the ice, right in front of you in the river.
Anybody got a rock? No? Okay.
There are some by your feet.
Smacks the ice with her tail.
Can you make a strength check for me, please?
You just see Ayla peek from behind Ilsong, like, what are they doing?
While this is happening, Inoki will also reach up, break off one of these little bright blue mushrooms, and tie it onto a small charm, which I would like to try to attach to Ayla without Ayla noticing.
Okay. That'll be a finesse check from you.
So that's a 15 with hope.
All right, so take the hope, and with a 15, that slap of your tail, just you can hear a loud crack as the ice starts to split from it. When that noise erupts from the river surface, you see the three shadowy figures beneath it stop for a second, and one of them rushes right up to beneath the ice, and you see something. It is a face, but there are no features. There's no eyes. The mouth, where there would be a mouth, it's closed off, and just long, stringy, black hair. Just comes right up to the surface, looks at you for a second, flips down, dives into the river, and they all swim upstream away from you.
Oh, would I be able to tell what they were?
Yeah, go ahead and make a knowledge check. What was your finesse check, by the way?
It was a 13 with fear.
All right, I'll take that point of fear. And Ayla, you feel a mushroom landing on you someplace. I'm not sure where you're trying to put it.
I was trying to, like, if Ayla has like a little belt or like something, I was just trying to tie it essentially onto her. This is for you, Ayla. This is my tethered talisman. This is one of the witch features. Once per rest, I can imbue a small item with my protective essence. When the person holding the talisman takes damage, you can expend its magic to reduce the number of hit points they mark by 1.
There you go. So you notice this mushroom creature tying something to your belt.
Ayla looks at the thing and then she slips it into like a pouch to keep it protected.
That may protect you a little.
Thank you. I'll make sure not to lose it. And she stuffs it in a pouch. She's like, I hope I don't lose it.
At the same time that Inoki is doing this to Ayla, can Yongshul be trying to touch them to give them an armor bonus as well, of like just a row of people trying to protect other people?
Yeah. What does this look like?
Yeah, I think it is similarly, not a talisman, because that's not how Yongshul rolls, but it is just like this little gadget that they've been working on, and Inoki is essentially the test subject in this case. So just sort of behind Inoki, still taller than Inoki though, so not hiding at all, but just while they're talking, just trying to get it ever so nestled between two mushrooms so it stays there.
So
This
you're
is
trying
like
to keep
that
this
one
from
meme where they're in a church and one person is sitting behind someone with a gun, and then there's someone sitting behind them with a gun, and then there's someone up in the rafters with like a sniper rifle. Except y'all are doing like protection.
We're all
stuff.
being nice to each other.
Yes.
It's like a chain of niceness.
It would
Go
be
ahead.
really funny if Ayla was like talking to Inoki and then looks over Inoki's shoulder and it's just like,
And Inoki just doesn't notice, is like looking very seriously intent at Ayla. You will be safe. Not like usual.
okay, but like, okay, I get that I have this, predisposition to running off, but like, this is really serious. I promise I won't run off.
Hey, and you might get to stab something.
I don't stab things. And she looks at this like small drum hanging off of like her side, and she's like, with what? And she points at her drum.
Sung, what did you roll for your knowledge check?
I rolled a 6. I don't think I got a good look at them.
No, it's too fast, and it's too dark here for you to have really got a good look at it. You could just see that featureless face and this dark, stringy hair. Even though with that 6, what was it, with hope or fear?
Oh, hold on. It was. Oh wait, I just realized I rolled a 6, but it's a crit. I I'm
we
sorry. I rolled
Oh,
a
good.
You knew
Oh,
that
good.
one. You didn't even know what it was, and you knew that guy's name.
Oh man, never mind.
All
I
right.
did succeed. I forgot crits on doubles.
All right, so go ahead, give yourself a hope for that.
Okay.
And on that crit, when you glance down at this creature that came up to beneath the surface of ice, you recognize it immediately as a river ghost. A creature that lives or is there because of something, what's the right word? I'm losing my words. Unaddressed grief, or there's something that needs to be resolved for this thing to pass, but instead it haunts the river. And there are 3 of them, and they saw you, they looked at you, and they swam upstream.
Oh, I think Ilsung will like reach for like a thing that's kind of half stuck to him. He pulls it, and it's like just a hilt with no sword on it. And he touches it to a tree and then pulls it away from the tree. And like this wooden blade forms out of the hilt. And he's like, we need to be careful. River ghosts are dangerous, and they usually are a sign of something else much worse. I'm making this up. I don't know that. I was just saying.
And you would also know on that critical that the direction they fled is likely meaningful.
I believe whether they intended to or not, they are leading the way to where we need to be.
Well, let's get to it.
Perhaps we may set them at rest as well.
Like, how fast were they going?
Quite quickly. They're like,
excellent. Since I can't go at a normal moving speed, to go at this speed, I have to go down to all fours in domination formation and then chase. And it's like I have the sword in one hand, but it's just like I'm just running on all fours after them.
I'm also going to use my tail as I go to make it easier on all of the short people because we have so many short people.
So this
We are
looks like this. Yeah, for me, from the front, it looks like a giant face with legs running at someone. But it's like, imagine a Dachshund at full charge.
Nice. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Since you are leading the charge, Ilsung, I'm going to have you make an instinct check
Okay.
to see if you can guide your friends properly along this river.
All right. Could I tell you that Guardian of the Borderlands would count here, so I can add a
100%.
+2?
So spend a hope to add +2 to that roll, and you also have that inspiration, the rally die, if you need to use that too.
All right. So let's do this instinct +2. I have 11 with hope.
Can I offer any help with my my underborn community gives me a low light living. If I'm in an area with low light or heavy shadow, I have advantage on rolls to hide, investigate, or perceive details.
Sure. The thing is, how would you keep up with?
Oh,
Ilsung?
absolutely would not. I think it would be from behind me, like, wait, there's a thing. So maybe not.
Okay. Yeah, I think he's
Sure.
plowing ahead on his own. Did you want to use that rally die at this point with 11 with hope? You said so we can get your hope back, but 11 might not be enough.
Well, unless I don't think I can tag anything else. So
You do have that D6, that rally die.
oh yeah. Oh right. I will spin the rally die
Okay.
and hope for the best.
Roll
I rolled a
6.
5.
Awesome. So with that, 11 turns into a 16, and with that, for a brief moment, you lose sight of them as the snow kind of sweeps across the river. But then you pause for a moment, and you catch the shadow pick up again on the other side, and you pounce after them. The rest of you follow in tow, probably with Vexed acting as a snowplow for friends. Running. Are you actually on the river, or are you on the river bank?
I think we're probably on the river bank. Or
Okay.
I don't think Frederick, with his dwarfy weight and armor, would like get on the ice. He doesn't have any ice skates.
All right.
I
So
mean,
you
if
guys are following. Go
If it
ahead.
looked stable, Vexed would definitely like occasionally pop onto the ice. And then they're like, oh yeah, right. I'm just a
It is the dead of winter. The ice is probably pretty thick, despite the fact that you smacked it with your tail and made it crack. So you duck in and from mainly sticking to the shoreline, ducking onto the beach, onto the river as obstacles prevent you from continuing along, trying to keep Ilsung in sight. Ilsung, you travel like this for what seems to be half a mile. I'm using miles here because although I'm Canadian, I think the rest of you are American.
Nice of you.
About half a mile, and you can see the shadows kind of dip. Almost, it looks like they go underneath the riverbank, and you turn and you find yourself facing what looks to be an overgrown area. There's vines, twisted vines, and trees kind of felled over, rotten and neglected here. It's a tangled mess. How would you like to proceed from this point forward?
I think at this point, I have to stop because I don't think I can just charge through it. But also, I check to see how far away my allies are, and because I assumed they would keep pace because they had to know that river ghosts travel very quickly, and they would not have fallen behind.
Yeah, you can see you should see them maybe about 50, 60 feet behind you, catching up.
light jog, guys. I don't think the rest of them can go that fast.
Like I frown more because I'm always frowning, and then I take my sword and try to cut my way through, hoping this would give them time to catch up.
All
If
right.
I cut a path,
Inoki just if they can see, if I'm 50-ish feet, I think I can see it. Just wait, stop.
As you start slashing your way through the underbrush, you hear your friend calling for you to stop behind you. You cut away at some brambles and clear some snow away, and before you is a sight that's rather disturbing for you, I would imagine. You see the remains of a Jiangsung, like you. Once tall, proud guardian, now rotten, broken in two, lying dead next to a forgotten shrine. And let's take a little bit of a break here, guys, before we continue on, if you don't mind. We'll be back in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. How much time do we have? I'll leave it up to our wonderful producer to figure out.
1 minute.
All right.
Y'all can take the time you need. No more than 10 minutes. Yes.
All right. We'll be back in a few minutes. All right. Thanks, folks. Hello. Welcome back. And we're going to get straight into things. Il-sung, standing before you, a fallen friend. Next to a shrine that has long been forgotten. Well, what's going through your mind right now?
I think Il-sung looks at this and knowing that he's lived a long life, and many of these Jiangsung who are much younger than him, who've met their end well within his long lifespan, and it kind of makes him sad to see this like he's outlived too many of his kind. And so he approaches the shrine and he will say, Inoki, aid me with the shrine. Because, you know, it's hard to clean up a shrine on all fours. He plants his long sword into the ground, gets down on all fours, and tries to. It's like it just looks like it's difficult for him to try to effectively clean the shrine up with one hand while he's propping himself with his legs in his other.
Inoki will, as soon as it arrives, immediately kind of again stops short and then starts helping clean it up. And they Inoki would do this in a way that is trying to, rather than just cut or tear plant life and things away, encourage it gently to like redirect where it's growing. If I can, I would also like to use my nature's tongue ability. I can speak to plants and animals around me with an instinct roll of 12. And yeah, I think, you know, it kind of gets even lower to the ground as it's moving these out of the way, and is going to try to find whatever like the oldest tree might be. And as they kind of start training the plants around, try to ask the tree what happened here.
Okay, go ahead and make that roll.
Can I spend a hope to give Inoki advantage on this?
Sure can.
Awesome.
Incredible.
How would you like to do that?
I think Youngshul is very distracted and has accidentally happened upon the oldest tree already, and just sort of, look at this one. And I'm like pointing and tapping at it.
Oh, Youngshul, what a good find. This tree, and there's also like a 5-minute tangent on like the age of the tree and its utility in various herbal concoctions that has no relevance to Youngshul, but Inoki kind of can't stop itself. That is That is a whole 10 with fear.
That's
Wait,
with the help.
With the
that was
advantage.
it would have been a 5 without the help.
Oh
Oh,
no. And your
okay.
Although
D6? And your D6?
I could add that D6. Can
Do you
I
want to add your
also
d6?
can my experience as an herbalist give me +2?
No, you would have had to
Okay.
claim your
Yeah,
experience
yeah.
before the
Yeah.
roll.
Okay. But I will. Yeah, I'm gonna use my D6 from Ayla.
Okay.
Fuck. That's a 1, so that's a total of 11 with fear.
Okay. I'll take that fear. Thank you.
Yeah.
We were gonna
And
beef it at some point.
Yep.
I have 8 fear now, and with that roll, what happens? Well, tell me what it looks like as you try and commune with these tree.
Yeah.
With this tree.
There are probably some amount of tangling vines that have grown around both the shrine itself and this old tree. And so Inoki uses their staff and tries to kind of tree train it more along the ground and away from the tree where it was kind of strangling. And as it does this, anyone looking closely sees from one arm that Inoki places on the tree's trunk just a little fan of mycelial threads, little fungus threads begin growing out of their arm and winding their way into the tree bark. So Inoki is trying to use their fungus network to do this, as well as strengthen whatever network the tree has with its own sort of natural innate fungus network.
All right. Before I tell you the result of this, it would seem like we reached our donation goal. Our next goal.
Hey!
nice.
So if our lovely producer Nekola would come on board here and tell us what that is, that'd be awesome.
Hi. So we have reached our $250 milestone. We are going to do a giveaway in chat. This giveaway is open to anybody within the United States. Unfortunately, because of the state of the United States, we have a hard time getting things shipped out. This giveaway will include, from Loke Battle Maps, the Box of Adventure, Coast of Dread, the Big Book of Battle Maps, Box of Tricks and Traps, the Adventure Upgrade Kit, from Ynir Dice Maker, a stained glass dice patch, and from your very own Kayla and Underground Oracle, a copy of the Harrow, the Blighted Plain core book in hardcover. So what we're going to do is in the chat, donate, or not donate, enter. To enter into the chat, you have 10 minutes before we pick a winner.
Yay! Very generous. Very generous. That's quite a package. But now back to that epic failure. Sorry, no other way to put it.
It was
Oh,
pretty
no.
failure. Yeah. No.
I want to make a correction. It's ! Giveaway, not ! Enter. I was wrong. Now go back to your epic failure.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the clarification. All right. As your fungal tendrils reach into the tree to try and communicate with it, trying to discern and find out what happened here, you're met with first silence and then a stinging cold. This area, this land, this around the shrine near the riverbank is angry. That's the strongest vibe you get from this thing. And I'm going to have you make a reaction roll here. This is going to be a strength reaction roll.
No. Oh, yeah. Great. Really good at those. 20. Apparently, 19.
19. All right. So you stave off that point of stress. You can feel the cold kind of reaching back up into your body for a moment as it feels like this anger is trying to devour you.
Oh. Everyone, be careful. Something is out of balance, and the plants and the nature here is very, very angry, possibly at me.
I like to see. I like to think as soon as Inoki is like, everyone be very careful. The nature is angry. We got to Vexed, who is pretty much built on just instinct. Like you train every day so hard so you don't have to think about it. You could just punch the thing the way it's supposed to be punched. So they are like close to the ground, going around like this shrine and this fallen guardian, and using their 5 senses. They're like seeing things, their like snouts going. You see this like black obsidian forked tongue flick out on a couple of things. They're like trying to see the difference in texture, just like anything to figure out what might have been going on here. Because I mean, clearly it's not right if the guardian's down.
Vexed, don't put that in your mouth. No, not that either. That one is poisonous.
Let me collect it for later.
Yes.
Carefully. Go ahead and make an instinct check.
Ayla is just so stressed right now. She's like in the background. Just
So
stressed.
one of my experiences is I notice the details. And can I use that in the situation?
Of course. Spend that hope to do that.
22.
22. Hope or fear?
With fear. Because I
Thank you
rolled
so
a
much.
10 on
Is
fear.
that at 9 fear now? And
I'm not worried about that at all.
as
I'm sure it'll be fun.
you investigate this fallen shrine, and you can see off the corner of your vision Inoki trying to commune with this tree and perhaps withdrawing quickly as that sting of cold tries to engulf him. You notice something about the shrine, a symbol, some writing on a piece of stone that has been knocked over, and it looks like this shrine has just been neglected with age. People have just forgotten about it.
I think I'm going to use my claws to just kind of like clean up the lettering, just like follow the grooves a little bit and maybe like set it back right. Like if it looks like it's fallen, just kind of like try to write it a little bit, like match the pieces up, and just kind of like clean it up a little bit.
That's it. I'm gonna ask you. Do you recognize the shrine, who it is for, what it is for? Can you tell me what that is?
Yeah. So I think I recognize something like this, maybe not this specific one. But Vexed travels a lot, whether by choice or by force. And there are always little shrines and things like this to like guide the path of wanderers, right? Like not every place you walk through is safe. And these shrines are meant to provide like a safe rest over if you're like stuck in the woods and you can't quite make it to the next town. This is supposed to be symbolizing like a safe place that you can make camp, rest for a little bit before you continue on, which might be why there's also a guardian here, right? They're here to make sure it stays that way. So I think with Vexed takes a little extra care knowing that, because like they have been not necessarily saved, but like kept from some probably hinky situations, like sleeping in some unsavory locations by finding one of these shrines as they've made their way through to different places.
These shrines are sprinkled throughout the countryside, and often they are for nature spirits or things that would help protect your journey from one location to the next, to make sure that your travels aren't encumbered by challenges or strange beasts that would otherwise be a threat to you. The fact that this shrine here has been forgotten, the guardian that stood by it forgotten and died as such. What is going through your mind when you see this?
I think for Vexed, it's more like the realization if this thing was forgotten enough for both those things to happen, how many people have tried to come this way or tried to come through this way and were in danger because the locals or whoever was supposed to be keeping an eye on this forgot about it. Like, I think having arrived in town and Vexed and Noki, like, they were the ones tending to the shrines around the outside when everyone else was inside partying with the village and everything. I think Vexed has a healthy respect for these things, and I think it's to them another reason that the new way is not the best way. Like, people are choosing one or the other, but like, we can't let things be forgotten. The forgotten things are where the problems happen.
Okay. I'm going to ask Frederick what he's been up to while his friends are hugging trees and licking shrines.
Yep.
So Frederick has a lot of experience with a different kind of temple, the temple of the mountain bastion, that the clan of dwarves that he's from. He had spent most of his life tending to the manifestation of quartz, which is the temple that his specific village guards. And even though it is a very different setting, he still recognizes sort of the divine design of what a temple is supposed to do. You put this here, you have these, you lay things out in a certain way. So he's gone kind of quiet, looking at this fallen guardian and looking at something that is in horrible repair. And he's on one hand taking this in, this extreme sadness of the state of the temple, but also he's trying to figure out why would this just, like, it's unthinkable that someone would abandon a temple. Like, he's spent most of his 300 years looking after one, and so the idea of just abandonment is completely alien to him, and he's trying to square that in his mind, but at the same time using his new skills to kind of stay on watch. And he doesn't have any buffs that he can give to people unless they get attacked. So he's kind of like, all of these things are swirling into his mind. He's had 300 years to kind of deal with different threads of thought going on in his little dwarven brain. So it kind of comes off sometimes as it takes him a little while to respond to something. He's just thinking things out. He's also not that smart, so it takes him a little longer.
Okay. Can you go ahead and make an instinct check for me, please? With advantage because of your experience being that temple guard for so many years.
All right. And this is, do I note hope and fear with this?
This would be a hope or fear, yeah.
Okay. So it is going to be a 21 with fear.
All right. I'll take that fear. Up to 10. All right. So you've been around holy places for most of your life. You understand their significance and their importance. And in your words, like, you don't understand how this neglect would have happened. You have an innate sense, an innate attunement almost to these holy places. And you know that there is great anger, great sadness here. Spirits don't like to be forgotten. And when they are, they tend to lash out.
There is a... And Frederick kind of stops. He says this really softly, and then he realizes how softly he just spoke. There is an enormous amount of lack of emotion here. It's a gulf. It's. I'm sorry. the absolute void that this place represents. It's and he kind of, you see him kind of like move his shoulders about, kind of adjust himself in his armor. So
It
it's
is
a
very
little
troubling.
that is one I'm having trouble putting it into words. I guess in Dwarven we might say we Dolores, but that's that does not have a translation into an easy translation into common.
Inoki just reaches out and again pats, reaches up and pats Frederick's shoulder for far too long. There.
What is the iron content of the appendage you just used to pat?
I mean, pretty low.
Okay.
It's a mushroom.
Okay. So it's not
like-
like you've got like some red soil or anything that might have a ton of iron in it.
Not a ton. You know,
Okay.
there yeah.
If had you more, you might feel some strange pulls when you got to certain parts of his armor. Not just his back, but yeah, his armor kind of emits a weird magnetic field.
Or
That's
like
a surprise tool for later.
Appendage just gets slightly stuck.
What is happening?
All right. And how about Youngjo? What are you up to?
Well, Inoki talked for a really long time, so I think it just sort of wandered away as soon as I had an opportunity to. I'm sure I'll hear the same thing in about a week. And Yangshul is going to, I don't know, like watch them from afar, like not necessarily really understanding this conversation about this place feeling void. That doesn't make sense to Yangshul. Like every place doesn't, like people talk about energies. I don't know. You know, let me look around here. Maybe there's something I can find. And as they're having this entire conversation about how it's troubling and this place feels like a void, Youngstill's like, what little things can I find? What little bits? Because they're not of the old way. So none of this, like, yeah, making sure we don't forget forgotten things, like, doesn't make sense to them. And I've been forgotten plenty of times. What's breakfast? And it just kind of like goes back to like pulling things around and looking. Vexit's fixing this stone, and I think they're just trying to see if there's literally anything else to help understand. Okay, if these spirits are angry, how do we make them not angry? Like, how can I fix this problem? Okay, it's like the machine is broken. That's it. The machine is broken. Like, go to Ilsung. The machine is broken. I understand now. And I'm going to try to go back and see if I can find a way to fix this machine and find more information.
Okay, go ahead and make either knowledge or let's say knowledge, I think would be more appropriate in this case.
Awesome. I would love to also use my experience scavenger. And then I have the adept feat from the School of Knowledge subclass. So when I use an experience, I can mark a stress instead of spending a hope, and it doubles the experience modifier. So I will do that and add a +4 to this roll, plus my knowledge modifier, which is 2. So 2d12 plus 6. Oops, that fell out of my hand. Okay. Okay, would you believe it if I told you I crit on 2 1s? We'll bring them in here. 2 1s.
Very nice.
The system is wild.
And by the way, you have a tag team apparently that you can use for automatic critical success on a tag team.
Okay, good to know.
But with that critical success, gain yourself a hope, reduce a stress that you might have just.
That I just spent. Right on.
And you are 100% certain if you just restore the shrine to its original state, that's all that needs to happen here. Spirits will be happy. Maybe give an offering of some kind. I don't know, whatever that maybe a trinket. Who knows?
Sure.
I have an idea to fix the machine, everyone.
I kind of just like look up. I announce this to the entire group. I'm sorry, the shrine, not the machine. The machine shrine. The shrine, if you will. I've got an idea.
Shameen?
Yeah, that would work too. We can workshop it.
Yes. Okay. And then Yangsho looks directly down at their feet, and you can see they've already kind of brought something out to tinker with as they're talking. If we just, spirit, the cogs of the machine are broken. The spirits are not happy. So if we just make the machine work again, the shrine work again by cleaning it up and making it nice, then the cogs spirits will be pleased. Does that make sense to you, to the rest of you? I tried to
Only
translate.
the part about the spirits. I never follow when you talk about machine.
It's like this part is. Oh yeah. Okay. We'll figure it out.
That's a very interesting way to think about that. I'd never even considered something that approach.
Well, don't worry. I'm considering it.
Oh.
I just grumble.
The frown frowns more.
On it.
I think
The
Fexa
frown is
just
frowning.
hands out a mushroom towards you that they cleared off of the shrine and is like, this one causes tinkles.
Don't.
Oh no.
Okay.
They did it.
No, it's
They
too
did it.
late. Might as well.
Okay, I need you to roll your fear die for me, please.
Me?
Youngster.
Just
Yes, please.
The big old one. All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
That is a 5.
Okay, this one was luckily not poisonous.
Ah!
Very tingly. In a good way, though.
Well, there are 6 of us. Wait, is Jay still with us? Did we drag?
Jay is still there,
Oh,
and
great.
he's looking at this scene. He's looking at you guys doing your thing, and he says, "Yeah, when you say you need to fix the machine shrine, yes, of course. My master taught me how to do that. I would need some help. I would need an offering worthy of the spirits that this shrine requires." And as you start to clear away the brambles and the vines and the thorns and the snow, re-erect a stone tablet indicating the location of the shrine. And he sweeps away the threshold of it, at the front of it. He fishes into his pocket and pulls out like a small little cup almost. And he has a little bottle of rice wine that he places there. Please, each of you, an offering.
Inoki steps forward. I have in my equipment a talking skull. So in this little cage at the end of the staff that's kind of hung on like where it makes little natural hook shape, there is a perfectly preserved bird skull, like a very small, kind of like yay big bird, sparrow-ish sized, and there is a little bird skull that as it kind of comes into view, it just goes,
Hey, don't you think about leaving me there? What are you talking about? No, you gotta keep me with you. What are you talking about?
and Inoki, ignoring this completely, just like lifts the entire little cage off of the staff and places it onto the shrine. You will be less noisy here. And then takes a couple steps back. And this skull just keeps yammering,
No, someone else pick me up. Someone else pick me up. Don't leave me here. What are you doing? You gotta keep me with you.
Frederick is going to step forward, and he is going to reach into one of his pouches, and he's going to pull a like sort of a gem-sized piece of nearly flawless quartz. That has its only flaw is that you can see a crack that's sort of weirdly encased inside of it. And this is something that his dad had given him right before he passed, and as he sort of transferred guardianship of the temple to him. So he places it on the stone, says, "Well, Pa always said that I'd found a way to fix something. And well, that never really made sense because our temple never really needed fixing. It's always kept up, and my kids and my grandkids, well, they did just as good of a job as I did. So I think this place needs his wisdom more than home. And he puts that on there and steps back. And I will remove a totem from your mentor from my inventory.
All right. Who wants to go next?
Well, I'll go next. I just imagine that because I'm so large in a total, and like there's this like little niches where I can store stuff because I don't really have a bag or anything, and I like pick open like a little note that he pulls out of, like a tiny scroll thing he pulls out of one of the little niches, and he's like, this is one of my treasured findings from people of our village. This is a letter written by Boyin. It was actually written for Vexen. It's a drawing of a lover. He misplaced it, and I've discovered it and added it to my collection of things that I've taken from people. He dropped it one day. I think it was meant to be given. However, since it was lost, I see it as being rightfully belonging in my collection, which is the best collection of lost things in the village. And this is a particularly valuable one. I will contribute this drawing to the shrine.
All right.
They had no idea this existed until Vex had no idea this existed until just this moment when I put it down.
How good is the drawing?
I think that I'm gonna say that Boyin is a talented artist.
That's not accurate at all to Dracona anatomy.
They clearly took stylistic license.
That's awesome. All right. So we got a talking bird skull, a stone, a cracked opal, and a drawing, presumably of a Dracona. What's next?
Ayla, Ayla says to everyone, my family says that my greatest gift is my ability to tell stories and express myself. So I think my offering is going to be a song. But then she pulls out a book from her bag as well. And she places it down. And she says, but in case you're looking for an actual physical offering, I'm going to leave this too. And it is like the trashy romance novel that she's hidden for the last, like, basically the entirety of her teenage years, is like a book that she's not supposed to have. But she's been hiding it this entire time. And it's like, you know, totally not appropriate for a teenager, but also like, you know, it's her guilty pleasure book. But also, after she puts the book down, she takes her drum and she starts playing like a very strong, solid beat. Most people who have been in the village recognize Ayla as more of like an oratory bard, of like actually telling stories. But there's a surprisingly like beautiful actual vocal that comes out of her tiny little frame, and she is singing like the most beautiful, almost operatic song. And I guess if you think about the vibes, I don't know if y'all know the song, but like Into the Unknown from Frozen 2, kind of that vibe. And I would like to, because I'm a bard and this has a mechanical benefit, I would like to use the heartbreaking song, Lick, and give everybody a hope while Ayla is offering this song to the shrine.
Beautiful. Very nice.
I think Vexed doesn't say anything, just like kind of waits, and then everyone's distracted by this singing thing that is going on. And she reaches under her cloak and pulls out. It is it's an older quarterstaff. You can see it's well used. It's like, but it's been well cared for. It's like very smooth and kind of shiny in parts. There, you also notice there are like tiny like sections of carving on it, almost like it's keeping track of something, some sort of journey. And then on the ends have been carved into the ends some sort of crest or symbol. And she's just gonna like lay it flat right in front of the kind of stone denoting where this thing is. I'm not gonna say anything, just put it there, and then just gonna like Homer Simpson back from it.
Okay. And how about Yongshil?
Yongshul quite timidly is sort of rifling in the one of their packs, trying to be as quiet because they're getting a little antsy. They don't want to interrupt the song, and pulls out a small like hand-sized box and opens it and looks at it to make sure it's still exactly how it is. And once Ayla finishes their beautiful song, we'll just sort of silently, kind of like Vexed, come up and place it. And what we guys see Yongshul place is a broken music box, handcrafted, of a hanok, a home that has like just like the living area. So it's got a little fireplace and like teeny tiny little stools, and a small tiny table that is set for something as Yongshul sort of places it down and tinkers. So just like the little bit of light in the fireplace starts to flicker. And then uncharacteristically is going to sort of do a short little bow in front of this. And say, I couldn't figure out how to fix what you made, but I think this might be a good place for it to live for a bit. And do their bow and step away.
Beautiful. So as you each make your offerings, and with Ayla's beautiful song carrying over the frigid air, you see Jay, the Paksu apprentice, kneel in front of the shrine. He's starting to burn an incense stick, and he's bowing in front of it. I'm going to have each of you make a presence check. Now, this is going to be reaction rolls, so we don't count hope or fear. And this will determine how well you please the spirit.
Is that a good one? Was that a good one? Wait. 2 people have team crits if we can use them for this.
Yeah.
Probably not
I
on a
don't
reaction roll, but I rolled 2 9s, so that should
Hot.
be good, right? Right? We can crit reaction rolls.
Yeah, you sure can.
Apparently, rock doesn't go well in Forest Temple. I rolled an 11.
Okay.
With the help, the extra die.
Oh, you did? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 11.
Okay, so I got double 7s, and then I also rolled the d6 and got a 5 on that. So it's 19 total.
Success. Okay.
Yeah, I got a 5.
Ooh. 14.
I have an 18. I did use my rally die on this.
Okay. So I've been counting on my fingers the number of successes and failures. The song is the one that carries the weight of this ceremony, this ritual, and along with the staff. Now, I'm going to ask you, Vexid, what is the meaning of that staff?
It is one of the few things that she still has from her time at the temple that took her in and trained her to be a monk. She's slowly added those sections of carvings to it as she's traveled. So this thing has been with her probably since she was like early tween age. And she just recently completed like all of the little sections of carvings. And I think it's also probably one of the only things that she has left that has this symbol of the order that took her in, which is the thing that's carved on either end, on the like flat edges that face others, is that carved into there very carefully, almost like someone was trying really hard to just fully mimic the symbol. And like you could see where like maybe went out of the lines a little bit and like recarved to like try and fix that. So this quarterstaff has been like oiled and wiped and cared for and carved and recarved over and over again. So it's like one of the few things that she has left from when she was trained.
Beautiful. So as the offerings are laid, the incense burns and fills your nostrils with that strong scent, pungent scent, and the music of Ayla carries on the wind. There is a sudden shift in that breeze, and snow gets picked up and starts to swirl around you. Tiny crystals catching what little moonlight there is on this dark, deep night. You can feel the little crystals stinging your face, and temperature suddenly seems to drop tremendously. You lose sight of everything around you for that brief moment, and when the snow clears, you're no longer in front of this river shrine. You are now in... Actually, you don't know where you are. It is dark. And it is cold, bone-chillingly cold. And all you hear from the darkness is a voice. Your offering is not enough. And you can see a light, a bluish light kind of glow in the distance. And you realize it's encased in ice, and a shadow emerging from that ice. And before it, you see the nailed body of Solhua, the Mudang that was supposed to conduct the ritual back in Mujin, encased in ice. And the shadow just circles it and moves slightly towards you.
What would be enough?
I have dwelt beneath these icy waters for over 100 years, and no one has come to pay me respect. Do I not deserve the warmth of memory?
Everyone deserves to be remembered, but how would you like to be remembered? As one who protects the spirits and the community, or one who takes their leaders from them? And Inoki's staff just kind of gestures out towards the Mudang.
You can see the shadowy figure kind of envelop the kneeling Solhua, the Mudang, and start to form into a shape. This thing is tall, maybe 12 feet tall, about as tall as Il Sung, hunched over in this what looks to be this cave. As the light starts to grow, you realize you are in this half shell kind of cave made completely of ice. There is no way in or out. You are in its domain now. You seek to appease me with trinkets and baubles. Give me your warmth.
I think Vexed just like shoots out a blue flame. Like,
All right.
How about we take that there lady and be on our way?
Vexed, did you really want to breathe fire on this
I'm not.
creature?
Well, I mean, he said, "Give me your warmth." So I'm not gonna. I mean, try to hit the creature, but I'm just like, I look up and like, I'm like, fire. Like, there you go. I guess that's what you want.
All right. So when you breathe this flame off to one side of it, what kind of energy does it? Is it heat that it emanates?
So it is like fire, but it is that blue fire. So it's like hotter, a degree hotter than like a normal orange or red flame.
All right. As it hits the wall and perhaps even the ceiling of this small enclosed cavern, you can see it melt the ice immediately. Just the ice just shrink away from it, and water drips down where that ice was, and almost immediately freezes as it hits the ground, forming stalagmites on the ground as it does so. I am going to need each of you, because you are in this environment, I'm going to spend one of my fear now. Actually, I'm going to need to spend 2 fear. I need you, Vexed, to make a presence reaction roll for me, please.
This is totally gonna go well. Just almost threw my dice off the table here. So that is going to be a 10.
Can you please mark 2 points of stress and recount to the table a tragic memory?
Yeah, so I think you see probably what is a very, very young Vexed. Still skinny, but probably even skinnier, like right at that like age of like most races are probably all knees and elbows. Like right at that awkward, like growing way too fast for their own good. The clothes don't quite fit because they had another growth spurt. But they are like covered in like soot and maybe what looks like scratches of some sort. And you just see them like almost like breathing heavily and trying to scramble like down this hill away from something, and behind them you just hear these like screams and something that sounds like screeching, like rendering metal, and like there's an explosion that happens that rains down debris, and she's just like trying her best to scramble away and to get to safety. I think all Vexed hears is like the hammering of her heartbeat, of her blood, like in her head as she's trying, like recklessly abandoning, probably like ass over tea kettle a few times, and scrambles up and tries to like keep going. And she is full on down this hill away from the only place she's ever known to be home.
The rest of you see Vexed fall to their knees, lost in thought and memory. You posed a question, Frederick, to this creature, or made a statement. So, and it turns to you in response. What do you offer?
Well, of the people here, Vexed is the only one that Frederick knows personally. So as soon as Vexed drops to their knees, he's going to run up and interpose himself between Vexed and this creature and say, I am a stranger here and I don't know what's going on. All I know is that person, and he points with his hammer to the Modang and says, I don't think she wants to be here of her own will. So you will release her, and I offer you your existence in return.
As you say that last phrase, you can see a shadowy arm reach out behind it towards the Mudang. And you can hear a shriek coming from within that encased tomb of hers as it starts to draw the heat from her.
All right, enough is enough. And Frederick flips his head, and over his face, a metal dwarven face appears as you see his armor sort of reinforce itself from places you didn't think it could as he kicks off his unstoppable ability. And he's going to charge and attack this thing.
Would you like to tag team crit success this with me?
Let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah, as Frederick gets into that mode of action is about to happen, I think we see Young Sil impacts. Oh, where did I put it? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? And I would like to use Wild Flame to help sort of melt some of this ice and help Frederick have an easier time accomplishing whatever it is Frederick is trying to do. I'm tag team this.
All right. So since this is a tag team, this is a free tag team, so you would normally have to spend 3 hope to do this, but you get it for free. Go ahead and roll your damage, Frederick, and on a critical success, you'll do maximum damage.
Okay.
Whatever that is. And then you get to roll the dice on top of that, your damage dice on top of that.
Okay, so it's going to be 16 plus the D12.
All right.
So 5 more, so 21 damage.
21 damage.
As now that he has made a damage roll, he is going to, you see that, yeah, it looks like this is a temporary state of his, but yeah, he gets up in its face and now it kind of makes sense. The whole, hey, things can just kind of stick to him. He's kind of magnetic in some places. All of these things just kind of like sort of Iron Man suited out of him, and it can't do it for very long, but it looks real cool. Yeah, and he, as the ice melts in front of him, it sort of roughens the ice so he can get a good grip, and he does a mighty dwarven leap of just a couple of feet, but it's enough to bring the hammer down onto this thing, and hope. He's just kind of hoping something substantial is there. He doesn't actually know. He's just kind of hoping it doesn't whiff through like smoke or something.
Because this creature is ethereal, not fully formed, it is resistant to physical damage. So your damage is going to be halved from 21 to 10. But it's still enough to do major damage, 2 hit points of damage to this creature.
You get to add both people's damage roll, right?
Yeah. So is there a damage roll that you would like to inflict upon this creature?
This would be, if I'm using the Wild Flame from my Grimoire, if they succeed against that spellcasting roll, it'd be 2d6 would be what I would roll. So if this is a crit and they do succeed, it'd be 12 plus 2d6. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
All right, reasoning through it here. And I rolled 2 more 6s on that.
Nice.
So
24, and it is not immune to fire or magical damage, so it'll take the full 3 points from that.
Heck yeah. These
All
are like
right.
little, essentially explosive charges that I'm sort of setting and letting go off around as Friedrich is bringing down the hammer.
Beautiful. So with this series of fiery explosions and this massive blow from Frederick's hammer, you send this shadowy creature reeling, taking a step back away from the Mudang, almost recoiling in pain and perhaps a little bit of fear. And you can see Jay, the Baksu, rushing up to Solhua and start to do a ritual. And as he says this, please keep the spirit occupied, and I'll try to free my master.
Frederick shoulder turns because he can no longer turn his neck. So he kind of Batman turns toward him, and the eyes on the iron dwarven mask kind of flash, and a sort of tinny voice from underneath says, "I will protect his son. You do your work. I got this." And he shoulder turns back around again. Can't turn his head, but and faces down this thing, taking on a protective stance.
So with that critical tag team success, the ball is still in your court. Who would like to go act next?
Okay. Ayla. Ayla. Okay, so Ayla has her drum with her, and she sees that people are fighting. Andrew, do I get a sense of like, ooh, evil, or like, ooh, misunderstood, shadowy thing? Like, what is the vibe here with this ethereal being?
Spirits are not necessarily evil. They're just doing what they do. Sometimes if they're lost or forgotten, they do evil things, but they're not inherently evil themselves.
Okay, so then I think what I'd like to do, so many options. Okay, actually what I'd like to do is address the spirit, and I think what Isla will say is, I think what she'll say is, I understand that being remembered is important. Please let me help you be remembered. And try to engage the spirit in a conversation.
Go ahead and make a presence roll for me, please.
I would like to spend a hope to use my experience. And it says, my experience, stories are the bridges that connect us all.
That is a beautiful experience.
And I'm gonna, come on, roll good. Is that a 1 or a 7? Okay, that's definitely a 7. Oh, it's a 9. I thought it was a 6. Okay, good. Well, I wouldn't celebrate too quickly. That is 20 with fear.
20 with fear. Beautiful. I'll take the fear. But
Yeah.
with that success, you can see it reeling from the attacks, from the hammer and the fire. It just kind of recoils a little bit from that. But when you reach out to it, you can see its head turn to you for a brief moment, and you can see part of that shadowy, icy base on it. It starts to melt a little. You can see the temperature noticeably warm up a little bit.
Yells out to the rest of the group. She says, she yells out specifically to Mr. Iron Dwarf. And she says, "You're going about this wrong. There is someone there that just wants to be remembered." And hopefully that the gesture of Ayla actually saying this to her her team will, like, be like, oh, this kid is onto something. She's trying to gain favor.
The dwarf, shoulder turns to you and says, "Ball's in his court, as we say up in the mountains. He wants to continue this. That's on him." And he goes back and to continue to guard Jay.
Okay. Because you rolled with fear, I now control the narrative. And what I will do first of all is spend 2 fear and have each of you wow, okay, so this is automatic damage, so you guys don't even get to roll. I get to roll a die. 9
Oh,
points.
man.
You will each take 9 points of magic damage and lose 1 hope. As this creature you can feel its rage, its sorrow, its anguish just push out almost like a physical wave hitting you. And you'll take the 9 points of damage and lose 1 point of hope.
I just want to note that I am spending a stress to drop it because I would have taken 2 HP damage from that. But with my scales, I can take a stress and drop it to 1.
Yeah,
I
I'll
would
mark
like
an armor
to.
slot.
I would like to use Inoki's little talisman gift to. It's my major threshold, so it would have been 2 hit points, but I'm only going to take 1.
Okay. Excellent. All right.
If something meets the threshold between major and minor damage, which way does it go?
It meets it, beats it. So it would be the major. Yeah.
Okay.
I am also going to mark an armor slot to reduce that. And I am going to hex this creature. When a creature causes me or an ally within close range to mark any number of hit points, I can mark a stress to hex them. Action and damage rolls against a hexed creature gain a bonus equal to our tier. This condition lasts until the GM spends a number of fear equal to my spellcasting trait to remove it, or until I hex another creature.
Okay. Beautiful.
Would this fall under the I am your shield ability? Because it does Jay take this damage as well?
Jay would take this damage too.
Okay. Instead, I am going to mark a stress, and I myself am going to take this damage, and I'm going to mark off an armor slot to have it. And because I am a dwarf, those are I'm going to mark. Well, hang on. Oh, so all of this major damage is getting reduced to minor damage because of my unstoppable ability, and I'm going to mark 2 stress on each of them to instead of taking hit points.
All right. So you're fine. And just as so you guys know, there is a countdown happening for Jay and his ability to free the shaman. If he takes any damage, that countdown stops.
So
right.
yeah, he did not take any damage from that.
All right, beautiful. I will spend another point of fear to start a second countdown, which you guys will discover.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Later. And I will spend another fear to have this thing lash out at you, Frederick, because you're the one that is in its face. And I will spend another fear to give it +3 on this attack.
Rip.
That is a natural 20. That is a
I would
critical
like
hit.
to spend a stress to force you to re-roll that attack roll, since I'm right next to Friedrich.
All right. Spend that stress. All right, that's just going to be not a natural 20, but still going to be a dirty 20 to hit. And you will take 11 points of damage, Frederick.
All right, that's gonna get once again ducked down to minor damage, and I'm just gonna take a single hit point for that.
All right, so it just reaches up with its icy claws to try and rip you off of him. That'll be it for me. Um,
I'm going to mark 2 more stress and force him to mark a hit point as for my vengeance ability. And is there some way to use my inexorable payback experience on this? Because the whole he's a guardian, but he also doesn't take kindly to his friends getting hit. So hence the vengeance part of it.
Right. You would be able to apply that experience on your own roll, whether that be an action or a reaction roll.
Okay.
So on your next attack, for example, you could apply that experience.
I definitely will.
All right. I will spend 1 more fear as it summons the 3 river ghosts from the ice, and they will converge upon you, and they will automatically get an attack. And they will attack. I'm going to roll a d6 here to see which one of you attacks. First one is going to be Ilsung. That's going to be a natural 2. That's not going to hit anything. Second one is going to be Vexed. That is a natural 3. So that's not going to hit you. And last one also on Vexed. That one, that one's going to be a dirty 20.
Yep, that hits.
All right. So you will take 6 points of damage from that attack as these creatures rise up out of the ice around you and just start to claw at you. These faceless, dripping, wet, ghost-like creatures and just like white, dirty sack clothes, long, stringy hair. If you've seen The Ring, that's pretty much what's attacking you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that knocks me out of the void staring I've been doing here. So are all 3 of them right around me?
They're all within close range.
Okay, so I don't have to move too terribly much. So I think the hit knocks me back, and that knocks me out of whatever memory I was trapped in, and you just see me kind of continue backwards and come forward and use my tail and momentum to kind of come to my feet, and I'm just gonna whatever one just swung at me, I'm gonna pop it in the face.
All right.
That's my thing. So that is what is that? 13 to hit.
13 will hit.
And that is a D6 and a D10 because I am a juggernaut brawler.
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh.
So I do those things. I hit pretty hard when I do hit, guys. So that is going to be, oh, wow. Okay. I rolled max on both the 10 and the 6. So that's going to be 16 right to the face. And I think I am angry enough to also spend a stress and roll that into my combo strikes as a brawler. So I roll, when I start my combo, I roll a d4. And I just keep rolling it till I roll under what the last roll was. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
brawlers are OP.
Brawlers are OP. So 16. I rolled a 1, so that's 17. I rolled a 3, which is above a 1, so that is 20. And I rolled under it, so it's just 20 damage. I get 3 pops in. I think I pop it straight to the face, and then elbow back, spinning, hit it with the tail, and then come in for an uppercut after the tail hits it.
All right. So you do severe damage to this water ghost in front of you. You just knock it around a bit. It's still up, but it is. You can see its neck is now at a weird angle, and you can see the side of its body just kind of crushed it where the ribs would be, but it's still moving.
Just sitting there come on, come on.
And when you attack, did you attack with hope or fear?
So I attacked with hope. I got an 11 on the hope die.
All right, so take that hope, and initiative still stays with you. Who has not gone yet?
I think having had multiple allies attacked, Ilsung would probably step forward to defend them.
Okay.
I understand. It's like I hear what Isla has to say, but our village survived by driving off evil spirits, not allowing them to die. This spirit, when it's subdued, then I will consider speaking to it. But there's dead and injured of my village and Frederick, and I do not want. I will not allow it to continue to harm them.
Okay.
And so I will take my sword, wooden sword, long sword, and charge at him. And it's just it looks like it shouldn't be effective just because of the way he's proportioned, but with is like and it's like this, you can see that someone who's fought for many generations, many hundreds of years of defending his people, and he tries to drive back the water ghosts with an attack.
Okay, before you roll anything, I do want to shout out that we got another anonymous donation for $50, which is another tag team crit.
Yay.
And that goes to you, Jonn. So if you want to turn this into a tag team crit, you certainly can.
Sure. I think that in this situation, given that it's Ghost, I think I would tag team with Inoki for this.
All right. And thank you to whoever gave us that wonderful donation.
Yeah, definitely.
Beautiful. Beautiful act. All right. So with the tag team, you will automatically do max damage plus your dice. And Inoki, what would you like? How would you like to?
Well, let me ask to make sure I understand how the tag team works. Does that need to be? Do I need to be attacking as well, or do I just need to be making any sort of action roll?
Any sort of action roll.
Okay.
Any sort of action roll. If we do damage, we both combine our damage, but you don't have to do damage.
Yeah, Inoki is not trying to. I think they are more resonating with Ayla here. So like as the spirit did the thing and we all took that damage and loss of hope, the hex is sort of Inoki kneels down and puts two appendages to the ground, and those of you closer to this thing, a ton of little mushroom threads start growing up and around the more vengeful spirit. So I want to remind everybody, you get a plus, we are tier 1, you get a +1 to your action and damage rolls against this. But Inoki will just call out to it and all of the water spirits, how do you wish to be remembered? As ones who destroyed our Mudong and the village, or the ones who allowed us to bring your memory back to our people? And I'm trying to get all of them to chill the fuck out and let us clean the shrine and do what we need to restore it and shift their attitudes.
Okay. Before I resolve that for you, I'm going to ask Ilsung, do you want to do your attack first, or do you want to hear what happens after that plea from?
I think given that the situation, I probably maybe don't want to use the crit for this because it sounds like
okay, well the tag team has been invoked, so it's going to
okay, but I'm just like, is what he's doing, could that be part of the tag? Does that work for the tag team? I guess is the question.
Yeah, if you want to make a presence roll, that could be an automatic crit for you too. And then instead of being a physical attack, you could try to convince these people.
Then that I want to do that because I don't want to do an attack if I'm tag teaming with someone who's trying to reduce it.
Okay. All right. So when you wrangle these ghosts and stuff with your mushroom tendrils, and ask them, how do you want to be remembered? You get that same response. Give us warmth. Give us memories. And with that critical success, you would know that they want happy memories. They have been living forgotten, alone, cold for a century. They don't know what it means to be happy anymore.
Do I know from my experience with other similar spirits if they would be taking those memories or if they want to experience them with us? Like, or would we let them have it and then we no longer remember it? Or is recounting the story essentially what's happening?
In your position, it would just be sharing. You just need to share them.
Inoki kind of calls out to everyone, share a memory. And they'll start talking about the day that they arrived in Mujin and met Ayla and just had this really excited little halfling asking it a million questions a mile a minute about where they were from and what kind of person they are, because I imagine that there's not many fungirls that Ayla had seen before at that time, and this overwhelming feeling of kind of welcoming that Ayla was bringing to Inoki, who at the time, you know, this was 5+ years ago, was kind of at the end of their traveling rope and really trying to find somewhere that they could put down some literal roots.
Very nice. You notice as you say these words and share that memory with them, you can see that glacial form that this creature is taking on melt a little more. You have reduced my fear pool by 1. And
Nice.
what do you say, Ilsung?
Well, and Ilsong is not the best person for positivity, so he's going to give it the best he can. He's like, I can offer you perspective. You have been forgotten, but so too has the Jing Song who had guarded your temple. So has many other guardians of lost places. And there are many whose only existence, only memory resides in me. You will become one of them, but you must realize you are not the only one to be forgotten. Let me tell you about the Jin Song. I'm going to arbitrarily give this person this dead Jin Song outside a name. Let me hold 1 second. I'm going to say Dao Young. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I met them when they were first sprung into existence. And they were full of life. And to be sent out to guard a shrine off the beaten path was something that they had to reconcile themselves with. But it was something that in over years, having had a chance to venture out to visit them, that it would become something that they felt was important, felt their sacred duty, and had offered them a chance to see many of the passerbys back when this path was well traveled, back when the towns further beyond still existed, and they regretted nothing about it. And it makes me sad that they have faced their end, but it wasn't without some joy, without some sense of duty. And though I wasn't here for them in the end, I know that their task is now complete, and their task is now my own. And I will carry their memory as well as yours. What positive, and if there's any positive memory to be had from you, I will hear it.
When you say those words, there is a recognition of that sense of duty, and solidarity in it and appreciation for it. And I'll mark stress here and lose another point of fear. You guys succeeded critically on that. You still have the initiative. I only have 1 point of fear left, so I can't really interrupt you and do anything with it. So what would you like to do? And I will remind you, you still have your critical tag team.
Yeah.
in your pocket.
Oh,
Oh, also
Okay.
remember when you crit, you get a hope. Both people part of the tag
Yep,
team get
yeah.
hope.
That's true.
okay. So I want to do like not a combat thing. I really want to like with this final effort really try to really reach them on like a very personal, intimate, like spiritual level, right? So Isla has these songs from her troubadour subclass, the gifted performer songs. Now, the epic song makes a target within close range temporarily vulnerable. But I want to make them like emotionally vulnerable, not like physically vulnerable. I want to like use my drum to have like a very like rhythmic, like solid beat, but I want to convince them that I can, with my music and my skill, spread their stories and make sure that they can be remembered the way they want to. And I will address the I guess the vengeful spirit, the first guy that we ran into here. And I will explain to them my entire upbringing and my whole life. I have been taught that it is important to remember the history, to remember where we've been. And the person you have, and she points to them, sorry, I forget what the word is.
The
Person
shaman.
in the ice.
Yeah,
The person in the ice, the Mudang. He is a part of a long-standing tradition with a rich history. There are many of us who believe in passing stories forward. And we can help you be remembered. You just need to give us something to remember. I can tell you my story, but that's not going to help you feel remembered. What I want to know is, what is your story? I don't know who I want to do this
Do it with
this
Frederick.
tag team crit.
Do it with Frederick. I got a good one. It's not a combat.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and it's the most heartfelt moment, and I'm gonna go ahead and give this moment to Frederick. I feel like it's a questionable decision, but I'm
Frederick throws his head back, and the face mask comes up. He's still bulky. He hasn't fully dropped unstoppable because this might not work. But he says, "I'll give you a happy memory. I came to to a strange place in my first time away from the mountain bastion. I ran into some old friends. Looks at Vexed. Made some new friends and looks around and made the most gigantic friend I've ever seen and looks up at Ilsung. And then I remember I got to have delicious dumplings, and I got to slam my hammer real hard with the help of my new friend Youngsil. I know that you're troubled, but and he looks back at Jay and it's like, I got to protect this young man trying to save his mentor. This is what I came here to do. And it's great. And he smiles.
Okay.
With those heartfelt pleas,
the memory of him slamming his hammer real hard into the guy.
Exactly. Yeah. Hard to forget that one. I have no fear left, and you have maxed out this creature's stress bar, which means that glacial, that icy facade that this creature had starts to drip away, and a 12-foot tall creature filled with sharp claws and bone-chilling, freezing cold starts to melt, and you can see this cavern start to thaw as well. And within a few moments, standing there in front of you is what looks to be a young girl, maybe 18, 19 years old. The river ghosts have retreated back into the ice and have disappeared, leaving you in this room with this young woman. Thank you. Thank you for remembering. Thank you for sharing. I'm sorry for the trouble I've caused. And with a wave of her hand, you can see the ice encasing the Mudang melt away and crack and fall off. And the Mudang just kind of collapses to the ground, and Jay holds her.
How tall is this person? This young woman?
It's a human, maybe 5.5 feet tall.
Ella rushes over and just gives him a hug. Like, you know, she's like 3 feet tall, so it's like an awkward, like, waist high hug. Just tries to comfort them, and she's like tiny.
You can, as you touch her, she's not fully there. You kind of go through, but there is some substance to her, and she's cold. But you can feel a heat warm up, and thank you for remembering.
It's kind of, and then she just looks up and says, "It's kind of my job." I guess it's like partially incorporeal, right? Like ethereal, and she's like, and then she like lets go and says, "Oops, I forgot to ask if it was cool to hug you." Just like consent, and she just like she got caught up in like emotions and feels, and she just drops her arms. But she says, "Don't worry, I'm gonna tell everyone. I'm gonna tell everyone when we get back to the village."
Speaking of consent, Frederick, if you're going to tell spirits that we are friends, you will need to learn how to use chopsticks.
Look, and during this, like, Frederick kind of moves his shoulders back, and his armor kind of collapses back into its normal walking around form. He's like, "Look, I'm real sorry about that. Like, it's literally my first time here. I will learn. I literally don't have the muscles for it."
Vexa just clicks her claws together, and just do what I do. I just use my claws.
I don't have those. I
can help you out with that.
Oh, I appreciate you. I think it's just something that these old bones gotta learn.
You could always stop eating.
Oh, I love eating though, and especially eating here. Y'all got some fantastic grub.
Just learn to do it correctly. It's not hard.
I would argue that it is quite hard, but yes, of course. I will venture to learn.
You see the young woman standing in front of you as you argue about how to use chopsticks. Smile. And as she smiles, you can see the room fill with flowers. They sprout from the ground as the ice retreats. It says, return now to your village. Spring will come and the winter will sleep.
And we will remember you as promised.
But like as everyone's going back to the village, Isla stays behind to like talk to this spirit. She like looks over her shoulder and says like, "Can I come and visit?
And come
Can I
visit
come
me at my
hang out?"
shrine anytime.
Okay, so is here? And she points at where they are, the shrine. Like, I can hang out here? So you
As-
double check.
As you say that, the walls of this cavern almost dissolve around you, and you find yourself standing on the riverbank once more in front of the now restored shrine with this young woman standing, not affected by the cold temperature at all. You can hear the sound of song and cheer and the drums beating back in your village, not too far away. And she says, yes, please. I would like that very much. Visit when you can, as often as you can.
And I think
Alright.
Vex said is not gonna say anything because Vex said no do word well. Again, purely instinct driven. Knowing this woman is a spirit and probably not affected, is still gonna take off their cloak and just kind of like put it around them and just like walk off.
Yeah. I think Ilsung will like get back down on all fours so that he can place a hand on the fallen Jangsung and speak some words to them. And just like, your duty is complete. I will carry on in your stead. Farewell, my friend. And then I will stand back up and return my sword to its hilt form and like stick it in one of the little niches.
All right, beautiful. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Inoki is going to wait, kind of assuming that everyone else has said the things they need to say. And it will kind of just be tidying up, making sure that we're leaving the shrine in like a really nice condition. And once everyone is gone, look, if the spirit is still there, is your body anywhere nearby? I can keep your memories alive in me for longer.
There's no need for that. But I appreciate the offer. I have no need.
Its shoulders slump very, very slightly, and it just kind of nods and turns and starts walking back towards the village.
Inoki, you gotta keep. Come on.
Don't wait up. I will reach the village when I do.
Sure.
And Frederick he just kind of nods and walks away, but he goes to they're walking side by side. He goes to Yongsil, who he definitely has a connection with them now. They helped him be awesome. I feel real bad. Should I have apologized for hitting her so hard? I mean, she just was a little girl. I felt a little weird about it, and everyone else had such nice things to say. I just felt like I should move on.
Well, they didn't ask for one, but we could just yell one out now if you want.
All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry again.
And with that, we will end this one shot Song of the Long Night. Bravo,
Just wanna
guys.
Add as a little epilogue that Isla goes to visit the shrine every month just to hang out with the spirits and be like, what do you want me to tell them? Like just hanging out.
Beautiful.
Yep.
Thank you so much, guys. And before we sign off, I just want to say thank you. And thank you to our wonderful donors. for literally saving Party's lives.
We'd be
That would
fine.
not have happened without you. I can tell you that for sure. But I would like to give you all an opportunity to just do a quick shout out, tell people who you are, where they can find you on your socials, and anything you're up to. I'm going to go backwards this time, and I'm going to start with Anne. You're first this time.
Hi, my name is Anne. My pronouns are she, her. You can find me primarily on Blue Sky at The Girl Wonder. You can also find me in various places, too many to name off the top of my head. But if you follow me on Blue Sky, I can tell you which stream I'm going. In about, I want to say 5 minutes, I am going to be on Ego, the Visual Culturalist's Twitch channel. I'm going to go be a Power Ranger right after the stream. So, yeah.
Awesome.
But for more information, check out my Blue Sky.
Awesome. Who do you want to pop it over to?
I'm gonna, I guess if we're going, I don't remember the order. I'm gonna say Jonn. We're just gonna go backwards. We'll just roll it back.
All right. All right. Hi, I'm Jonn, he, him. You can find me on most things as Sleepy, SLEYPY. I spend most of my time on Discord, occasionally on Blue Sky. Other places I pop on randomly. I'm not really doing a whole lot of like podcasting like I used to do, but I still do mostly like games for fundraisers and things like that. So hopefully I might be doing some podcasting in the future, but I do play on some APs with various people. So you can probably find some of that on YouTube. All right. And I will popcorn it over to Kayla.
Oh gosh. Okay, let me channel Tim Curry from Clue here.
You got this.
Hi, I'm Kayla, just KD. I'm down somewhere on the web if you've noticed me. I've been playing TTRPGs for 20 plus years, designing, writing, freelancing in them for 10 years-ish, and doing actual plays for 5. If you want me on your actual play or in your charity stream, reach out to me. I'm crazy. I'll do it. I don't sleep. You might recognize me from things like
confirm.
Yeah, you might recognize me from things like Adventurer's Domestic Handbook, subclasses Revivified. I also edited Cursed Classes. You might also recognize me from fun free things that I do with DM Dalliance that includes things like Jack Dalton being your patron. You might recognize me as the general manager for Underground Oracle Publishing, who put out that 300-page setting, Horror of the Blighted Plane, which is like Treasure Planet meets Waterworld. It is full of cyberpunk, crystal punk, goodness. And it is so much fun to play. It is available for POD on Drive-Thru RPG. For softcover, hardcover. For defense, I suggest hardcover and PDF. And we have tons of more things coming out, including a new setting called Firefox, which is a Daggerheart setting, which is Treasure Planet meets Duckwing. Anthropomorphized animals are the sentient beings of the universe that have expanded past Earth. Humans are no more. They are an extinguished thing of the past. If you check out that link tree that's been provided, or that you can see here, I believe it just says just gay K, because just K was taken when I went to Linktree. That has links to everything I've mentioned and more, including all of the fantastic things that I've been involved with actual plays, and tons of them are Diversity Saves videos if you want to go watch those VODs on their channel. Okay.
Oh, there was a breath at the end there. Okay.
Yeah. And I will popcorn it over to Sydney.
Yeah, my name is Sid. My pronouns are she, her, and you can find me on Actual Plays on YouTube, Blue Sky, on Start Playing Games as a Pro GM, and my entire itch.io catalog at Shock Games as well, where you can find Brindlewood Bay mysteries, supplements for Slug Blaster, Remolier Watch, and many other written works. I am also going to be reuniting with Andrew here and Looking for Mom Daggerheart actual play we just finished recording. That is devastating, and you should head over to Looking for Mom when those all pop up and give it a watch. And I think those are all the things right now. Doing lots of writing, lots of actual play, lots of GMing. So stoked to have gotten the opportunity to be a player and hang out with all of you lovely folks for Diversity Saves. Thank you.
Thank you. Who's popcorn?
Critter.
Hello, I am Critter or Colin. You can't find me on the internet very well, but you can find my cats on Instagram at NoGoodCats. You can also find me on The Roll Report, ROLL, wherever you find your podcasts. I talk to a lot of cool people about all the cool projects that they are doing, and we also deliver news, info dumps, and plumb the depths of horror stories of Reddit to offer you DM advice and all the things. I'm also a writer and producer for the award-winning actual play Unbalanced Encounters. Our new season just launched, drops every other Tuesday, and we're only a couple episodes in. This season is going to be so cool. Come check it out. What else do I do? I just contributed to a really cool new book that is available on DM's Guild called The Tomes of Taraka. So if you need some tarot and Taraka themed NPCs, subclasses, strange cults, adventure hooks, and more, check out the Tomes of Taraka on DM's Guild. And, you know, if you're anywhere near the San Francisco Bay Area, you can find me on stage with 13th Floor Theater and a number of other theater and dance groups in the area. And I'm sending us back to Jonathan.
Hey, this is Jonathan, also known as Roadblock, and I use he, him pronouns, and Roadblock is where you can find me on Blue Sky. Roadblock Actual is where you can find me most other places, like on Instagram. I have done charity streams on Diversity Saves previously and on TTRPG's TTRPG Gifts page. I also have been on a podcast called Distinguished Adventurers, and we'll be on a new project very soon that we are working on, and so keep a lookout for that. Yeah, I'd love playing, and I'm looking forward to participating in more of these. Back to Andrew, I think.
All right, cool. Thanks. My name's Andrew. He, him pronouns. You can find me on Blue Sky using the real MacGuffin. But you can find me more easily if you look us up on Looking for Mom, YouTube, Twitch. That's where I do most of my APs. And as Sydney mentioned, there is a Daggerheart circus-themed one coming out very soon. I'll be editing that over the holidays.
I know about that. Holy shit!
Yeah, that one is cool. I'm very proud of that one. And Outgunned, Colin and Kayla, we're in my Outgunned Superheroes, and we will be having an end game in January where we bring together 12 heroes at one table at once. I don't know how that's going to work yet, but we'll figure it out.
Really small video boxes on the window, like really small.
Yeah, but that'll be a lot of fun. And a whole bunch more projects, too many to list in the future that are a little bit secret right now, but they will be coming out soon. But before I go, I do want to give a shout out to Nekola, our wonderful producer and organizer who has put all this together. Thank you so much for all your hard work. Yeah. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for your donations and your time.
Thanks for money and eyeballs. And thank you, Diversity Saves.
Thank you all, and we'll be back here in about an hour and 45 minutes with our final game of Raging Grannies. We'll see you then.
Ooh.
Bye.
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 Granny.
Bye-bye.